Surrealism video directions. Yeah. Create a surrealism design. In this assignment, you will learn about Salvador Dali and create a design that reflects your subconscious mind and dreams. You'll watch the videos below, and please do not copy the tutorials, okay? So don't do exactly what someone else might do. The tutorials that I put below are just to do a quick review of like the masking techniques and different techniques for selecting and erasing backgrounds so that you can create a composition. They're not designed for you to follow them. So if you already remember how to do all of that, you don't even need to watch those videos. They're just there as a resource for you. Just remember that projects must be original, and use the artworks from other artists just to inspire you, to get some ideas. But in the end, you want to create a surrealism artwork all your own. And then the drop box is below. There is a rubric. Let's take a look at it. It's worth 100 points. At least 2 images are unified so as to look like one image. So it's really important that they are unified, okay? It can't just look like someone pasted something onto another image and it's like, oh, someone pasted that there. It needs to look like it's real, like it could really be a real picture that someone took. The images used are in separate layers, so do not ever merge your layers. The design is surreal. It creates an unexpected twist in reality. It's like a bizarre dream. The image captures the viewer's attention with its thought-provoking subject matter. So you want to say something with your art. You've been learning how to use this program. Now make a message with it, okay? Get deep with me here. All right, make sure that you're submitting both your GIMP file and your exported JPEG file. Oh man, I wonder if I need to put on there that needs to be less than 500 kilobytes. I better do it in there. Okay, less than 500 kilobytes, but I think if you've been doing all of the project work at this point, it should be pretty ingrained in you, right? So next, I just want to show you some good examples. So good examples have meaning, okay? Artist is making a message, all right? That's what makes good art. It's thought-provoking. Sometimes it's quirky and unexpected, and that's why the surrealism assignment is so much fun. I think this is a great example of the surrealism. I think part of the reason is just the message. What message do you get from this? Here's another great example. It looks unified. It does not look like this person just pasted a bunch of stuff together. There is actually a story being told. This one is very dreamlike. Surrealism is an artwork that looks like it came out of a dream, out of someone's subconscious mind. Like I said, making a message is awesome. The student worked really hard to incorporate these animals into the artwork to try to make it look like they were a part of the painting. So the cropping effects and things like that were well done. Now, ways that this artist could have made it look more realistic is if the artist like cast a shadow. For example, look at the shadow on the person in here. Notice how the left side of the face is lit up. Okay, the left side of the meat is lit up. There's a shadow on the right hand side of everything. So guess what you can do? Get in there with your paintbrush, adjust the opacity. If you decrease the opacity in your paintbrush, it'll allow you to paint, but like if you had some black paint, but you'll still be able to see the animal underneath. So you could just shade one side and you could create a cast shadow. You could paint a cast shadow right on there and do the same thing over here so that it looks like your animals are actually in the room. You could also put some shadowing down onto this tray. So when I say unified, I mean that you've looked at the lighting in the photo and you've looked at the lighting on the other elements and you've made sure that they match. The contrast, the color, the tones, the lighting, the shadows, the highlights, they need to match so that it looks unified, like it really happened. This one's awesome. I love the message of this. What's the message? Love it. This just shows some really fun technical prowess. And what's missing here? The shadows of the basketball players. Wouldn't that be nice if we had some of their shadows were cast down onto the sand? That would be awesome. But the metaphor of them being birds is really cool. I love this one. It's one of my favorites. It's classic. It's gorgeous. Beautiful composition. Well done. I love the message of this one. Look at this sweet couple. What is the message? It's dreamlike, right? It's surreal. It's like out of someone's dream. This is incredible. This is really amazing. This student actually sat and pasted all of these little tiny birds to create the shape of this bird. All of this is done by hand in layers and GIMP. It's beautiful. I love this work of art. Show off your technical prowess. This is your chance. That's what projects are for. All right, what not to do. Okay, I think, do I have to explain what's wrong with this composition? First of all, I can see the outline where this was cut out and the person didn't do a very good job selecting. Okay, so it does have that effect that, oh, look, someone just like cut this out and pasted it on there and it doesn't match. So if you're going to do something, you need to do it right. All right, you need to do fine selection work. And then the other thing is this cat does not feel grounded at all. So there's no shading. But the other thing for me is like, okay, what's the message? I'm not really getting a message. Cats in a cannon? I don't know. For me, the message wasn't that powerful. Maybe it is for you. This one is great, but like, how unexpected would it be to see a guy floating in space? Not very, right? So I kind of was like, yeah, that's what astronauts do. They float in space. So surrealism for me is like finding objects in places where they don't belong, you know, or just that type of thing. This one it's pretty, you know, but sometimes I just feel like, that was pretty, but it just doesn't have any depth of thought, of purpose, of mission beyond it's pretty. Like, I want to see your thought process. I want you to find something that's intentional, like making a message, having a voice. This one, for obvious reasons, you know, not a great cutout for one thing. It doesn't show the pretty edges of a cat's fur, and it is just literally just pasted there. And it doesn't really serve a purpose, honestly. It just looks like someone pasted something onto something else. It does not look like a unified composition. All right, so I'm hoping okay, great. Love the concept, eyeball in the spaghetti. All right, but if you're going to do an eyeball in the spaghetti, the eyeball should be sharp, not blurry, you know, and it should be round. This is a flat image with a three-dimensional, you know, dinner plate. It should fit right in. Like if you had a round eye that was in there and you could make it so that like some of that Parmesan cheese and some of the sauce were wrapped around it. Like if you could, you know, cut out the meatball and have that round eye underneath it and it wasn't blurry but sharp, you know, that would rock. That would be sweet. Obvious reasons, what not to do. Please don't just copy something and stick it onto something else. This might work if the person actually took the time to make it look like the water maybe was running over the cat's paws. The cat had a shadow. The cat looked like it was, you know, actually sitting on top of this water, but it doesn't. It just looks like two separate images stuck together, and that's not unified, right? All right, so this is lovely because of the fact that it is unified. It does look real, but I put this one in here because I was just kind of like, it's a giraffe in the clouds. Like, okay, that's all right, but I mean, I love it. It's beautiful. And if you submitted that, I'd be fine. But at the same time, I'd be kind of like bummed because there's no meaning. It's just a giraffe in the clouds. So while I like it and while it is unusual and unexpected, I am looking for deep thought, something that's thought-provoking, something that makes me go, whoa, you know what I mean? I wasn't expecting that. Same here. It's cool. We got fish flying over the desert. The clipping, the selection job was not very close on these. And then we have the problem with the tone of the fish being a different tone than the image underneath, and there aren't any shadows. There's no reflection of what's underneath popping up. Like in real life, if the sun were hitting the desert, the desert colors would reflect upwards onto the bottom bellies of these creatures. So things like that, just taking that into consideration. And I think that's about it. So I just wanted to give you some ideas of what to do, what not to do. And by all means, have fun with this project, okay?